Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and we've got a lot to get into as we head over the next few days. It's going to be that typical warm to snow to warm again pattern that we've been kind of dealing with over the course of the last few weeks. But start things off with what we can expect as we head over the next little while. And the big kind of takeaway, at least for the near term, it's warm, both today and tomorrow. A lot of sunshine, temperatures running about 15 degrees above where they should be for this time of year. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous for us. You'll probably notice a bit of added cloud cover this afternoon. Not a big deal. Not going to produce any sort of rain or snow, but we will be looking at a bit of extra cloud cover this afternoon, and then a little bit gusty for us for your night tonight. Then we get a sharp cold front that drops through late tomorrow night. That's going to set the stage for some snow coming up on your Wednesday. In the meantime, today we're going to be right up around 60 degrees. A beautiful day. Yesterday at 57. Today, I think 59, 60 degrees for us here in Denver. We will see some afternoon clouds. Not a big deal. As I mentioned, those clouds will have more bark than bite with them, but you'll probably, again, notice that sunshine being a little bit filtered on down. Already up to 53 degrees for us here in Denver, so well on our way to a high right around 60 degrees. In the mountains, a lot of 20s and 30s for us so far. And by the way, all that added, all those warmer temperatures should really kind of help melt off some of that snow that we picked up back on Friday. Most areas around the Denver area saw between 4 to 7 inches worth of snowfall. Our official observation site at DIA, though, only had 3 inches worth of snowfall. That is a rant for another day. Meantime, forecast highs for your day today. Again, right around 60 degrees for us with those increasing clouds during the afternoon. Some spots maybe a little bit colder than that, especially just the north of the city. 53 Broomfield, 55 Brighton, 51 Platteville. And then as you get along and south of I-70, that's where you're going to have the best chance of hitting 60 degrees, 58 Littleton, 57 Lakewood, and 50 for our friends in Evergreen. One thing to watch for, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but you will notice in the foothills tonight some periodic gustier winds. We're talking about maybe some gusts up there, getting on up into the 50 to perhaps 60 mile an hour range. Allens Park, Rocky Mountain National Park, the higher reaches of Evergreen, west of Boulder. That's where I think you could be seeing some periodic gusts into the 50 to 60 mile an hour range. Not a big deal, though, at least that's the way it looks right now. Now, I mentioned that sharp cold front that arrives tomorrow night. That will usher in that chance for snow on your Wednesday. It does look like we're going to see some pretty meaningful accumulations here in and around the Denver area. There you can kind of see that one line right in the middle of the screen. That is your cold front. And behind it, that's when that snow will develop for us in Denver, probably early to mid-afternoon on your Wednesday. That's the way it looks right now. We'll see that snow developing somewhere between about 12 and 3 on your Wednesday. But because it's going to get up to 60 degrees today and tomorrow, it's going to take a little while for that snow to actually accumulate out here in the Denver area. So I don't think we're going to see huge impacts until at or after sunset, so probably 5, 6, 7 o'clock, similar to Friday. That's when we're going to see that snow actually starting to stick on roadways. So if you're planning early right now, it looks like, again, I think most of the afternoon on your Wednesday's okay, at least in terms of the roadways in around the Denver area. But, for example, you got a doctor's appointment or some sort of appointment coming up on your Wednesday afternoon. The earlier you can make it on your Wednesday, the better those road conditions will be. And I do think around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we will be looking at some impacts to the road. So let's say you have one of those hybrid options. You have the option to work from home on your Wednesday. Wednesday is a great day to do that because, again, I do think we're going to have some issues during the evening commute. Could have some into your Thursday morning as well because of the leftover snow on the roadways, but the snow should be long done by the time you wake up on your Thursday morning. Now, in terms of how much we can expect as we get into the mountains, that's where some spots here, we do need a good storm in the mountains. And I wouldn't call this a barn burner of a snowstorm, but this is going to put a little dent into some of those recent snow droughts into the mountains for us. Looking somewhere around 8, 9 inches for friends in Winter Park. Looks like those I-70 mountains, Summit County mountains, Vail, Breckenridge, Keystone should do pretty well out of this snowstorm. Leadville, you can see that 11-inch number out there. Again, we should see in most spots a good 4 to 8 inches plus worth of snowfall in the mountains. And again, we really do need it. up that way. Now, as we get a little closer into the Denver area, that's where there's a bit more uncertainty. The computer forecast models are still switching around a fair bit just because how much snow we see during the day on Wednesday is going to be the big question in my mind. But I do think that we're going to be looking at around 3 to 6 inches worth of snowfall in Denver, probably on the lower end of that. So maybe east of I-25, along and east of I-25, closer to about 2 to 4 inches is what it looks like right now. But you do get into the foothills once again, and that's where you could be talking about 4 to 8 inches, maybe even a bit more than that, worth of snowfall for our friends west of I-25. And again, we're looking Lakewood, Golden, Arvada, Evergreen, Conifer, Bailey, those areas. That's where you could be looking, again, 4 to 8 inches worth of snowfall up that way. But similar to the last few snow events, DIA may end up being an outlier in terms of how little snow it ends up actually receiving from this snowstorm. So hopefully that gives you a bit of idea. Again, I think Wednesday the main impacts will be to the evening commute. The morning commute should be okay. Most of the day we're okay on your Wednesday. So again, you got a doctor's appointment, you've got something to do during the day. Most of the day you're okay, but if you have something scheduled for 4 or 5 o'clock, I would bump that up if you can. And again, if you have those remote work options on your Wednesday is certainly a good day for that. And similar to the pattern that we've been kind of stuck in for the last little while, and by stuck in, I think it's been wonderful. We get snow, we get that meaningful precipitation, and then we go right back into the 40s and 50s. So that snow doesn't stick around. It doesn't, I don't know. I'm from the East Coast. Maybe a lot of you might be from the Midwest or the East Coast. And when it snows, it sticks around and turns into those disgusting brown snow piles. This is not that pattern for that, because we warm right back up again. You get that beautiful sunshine and melts off the snow in, 48, 72 hours. It's long gone. That's going to be the similar pattern from this upcoming snow event. And then, by the way, it looks like it could be interesting as we get into the early part of next week once again. So hopefully, again, gives you a pretty good overview about what to expect as we head through the next few days. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Watch. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your day.